First look at Shapeshift OS based on Android 10 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and in this video we're going to have our first look at Shapeshift OS based on Android 10 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. And this is an unofficial build, and as you can see the security patch is from June of 5th 2020, and this is how the build comes out of the box. You do have launcher baked into the build, and yes, you do have a very fancy settings icon. Next up, let's have a look at the recents, and this is how your recents look like, and this is your quick settings panel. As you can see, I have themed my quick settings panel, which means theming the quick settings is a feature of this build. And on the top right of the quick settings expanded panel, you can see that I have 0 bytes used. So this is showing you the data usage of your device. If I tap on edit, you will see that I have the different tiles, and yes, the ROM does come with 2 screen recorders baked in, and we can have a look at them later in this video. And these are the other tiles which you get with this build. Now you do have MIUI style brightness slider in case you want to enable that, and here is the first screen recorder which is baked in. So this, I think, is the screen recorder which Google had implemented but never pushed it to Android fully. So this is that screen recorder, and then the other screen recorder which you have, I think, is the one from Oxygen OS. As you can see, this does let you record internal audio in case you want to do that. And of course, as we have launcher baked in, if you swipe to the left, you do have your Google feed in the building. Next up, let's have a look at the volume panel. So this is how your volume panel looks like, and if you tap on the icon at the bottom, you can of course change the media volume, call volume, and ring volume. Again, this is how the volume panel looks like. You do have a rounded UI, and if you tap on this button, you can change the different modes. So you can switch between vibration only, muted, ringtone, and the other options which you have. Next up, let's have a look at the applications which come baked in. So these are all the apps which come baked in, and yes, the ROM does come with Google Apps baked in, and you do have the FM radio application as well. In Shift Papers, you have different wallpapers, and some of them are pretty good, and I was impressed with some of them. So it is always good to have a wallpapers app baked in. Next up, this is how your settings look like. As you can see, the UI is a bit different. You have a big white space on the top with the settings gear icon and the text settings inside that. Next up, we can go into customization panel, and this is where you have all the customizations from Shapeshift OS. First up is status bar. So you can choose what all icons you want to see in the status bar. Then if you want to display the volt icon, you have a toggle for that. Then what is the volt icon you want to see? So you can choose between MIUI icon, Oxygen OS style, or Asus icon. Then if instead of volt you want to see the 4G icon, you have a toggle for that as well. You can of course enable your network traffic indicators, and you can have them either in the status bar or in the expanded status bar, and you can change your activity type, the layout, the auto hide, threshold, the refresh interval, and the activity arrows as well. Then you also have double tap to sleep on the status bar, and as you can see, it works absolutely fine along with double tap to wake. Next up, we have customization for the lock screen. So you can enable the phone to vibrate when you have a successful fingerprint authentication, and yes, the fingerprint scanner works absolutely fine on this build. Unfortunately, we do not have face unlock on this build. Next up, you can customize the lock screen bottom shortcuts, and as you can see right now, I have them set as settings and the Chrome browser, and there it is, works absolutely fine, and it unlocks the device as well. And that is because I have this toggle enabled which says right shortcut also unlocks and left shortcut also unlocks. I have both of them enabled. Then if you want to see media artwork from the music which you are playing on the lock screen, you have a toggle for that, and you also have double tap to sleep. Then you have UI tuner, so you can tint the quick setting tiles. I have them tinted right now. Then if you want to move the brightness slider at the bottom, you have a toggle for that as well, and this will work if you have the Android style brightness slider. The MIUI style brightness slider is automatically at the bottom. Next up, you can also replace the clear all text with a nice button, and this is for your clear all of the notifications. Then if you want to see the data usage in the quick settings header, we already talked about this, and you can also blur behind the quick settings. So there it is, there's no blur. Enable the toggle and bam, it is now blurred out. Of course, you can also configure the number of rows you want to see in portrait and in landscape mode, along with the number of columns for your quick setting tiles. And yes, it does require a system UI restart. Then you also have a toggle for dashboard suggestions and show notification headers. Next up, you have theme engine. So you can choose your accent color. These are the different options which you have, and there are a bunch of colors. Right now I have chosen red, and that is how it looks like. You can change the headline and body font. Again, multiple options. These are the different options which you have. Then you can change the icon shape. Right now it is set to cylinder, and there it is. The quick setting tiles are in cylindrical shape. You can change it to hexagon, and bam, there it is. The quick setting tiles are now in hexagon shape. Then you can change the primary color of your theme engine and the status bar icon if you want them device default, rounded, filled, or circular. Next up, you have customization for your notifications. So in ambient light, you have edge lighting, and of course this is a pretty cool feature. And yes, you can change your edge lighting color using this RGB picker. Next up, you have customization for your battery light and timeout for your heads up notification, snooze timer, and other options as well. Then you have customization for your navigation and buttons. So this invert layout will work if you have the old school 3-button navigation bar. Then we have customization for the power menu. So you have advanced restart and what all options you want to see in the power menu. Right now only screenshot is enabled. Let's enable airplane mode, and bam, there it is. We now have the option of airplane mode in our power menu. Then you can also enable the toggle for screen off torch, wherein long press the power button when the screen is off is going to turn the torch on, or you can use your volume rockers to seek music, and that is like long press of volume up and volume down is going to go back to the previous track or to the next track with the screen off. In miscellaneous, you have pocket detection. So when this toggle is enabled, the screen and button won't wake up when it detects that the device is in your pocket. And of course, I think this uses the proximity sensor. And then you have auto enable of battery saver, which is like enable aggressive battery automatically when using battery saver. Next up, we can go into battery. So here you have per app thermal profiles, and tap on thermal profiles. You can now set different thermal profiles for different applications, and here it is. These are the different options for thermal profiles you have. So you have default, benchmark, browser, camera, dialer, gaming, and streaming. And of course, for PUBG lovers, you'll have to use the gaming profile. Then you have battery saver, adaptive battery, and battery percentage as well. Moving over to display, you have styles and wallpapers, and let's try to create a custom style. So these are the different fonts which you get with this build, and we can choose any of them. Here it is. Tap on next. These are the different type of icons we can use. Tap on next. The accent colors which you want to choose, these are the various accent colors you can choose. Tap on next, and you have multiple icon shapes, and these are the different icon shapes which you have. Let us use the teardrop one. Tap on next, and then you can give it a name and just click on apply. It is going to apply the theme. Oh well, looks like that functionality is broken because my phone just died. It is not waking up, and yes, I guess I'll have to press and hold the power button and see how that goes. So it looks like that the option of changing your theme using the style and wallpapers application is kind of broken because it did create this custom style. Let's try applying it one more time. Well, it worked absolutely fine now. So I'm not sure what is going on over here, but it might be an issue with the current build. Going back into styles and wallpapers, you have multiple clock options for the lock screen. You have Samsung, Samsung colored, bubble, analog, type, binary, and the options after binary are something which is different, and this is the first custom ROM I'm seeing these options in. So you have divided lines, S funny, Then you have Orono and Minimal Box along with Minimal's Minimal. So you do have multiple options for your lock screen clock style. You can of course change the grid and also change the wallpaper in case you want to. Then you have a toggle for dark theme. Of course, you cannot schedule it from a specific time. You can either turn it on or off permanently or from sunset to sunrise. Going back into display, you also have adaptive brightness along with night light, and screen rotation is also present, so you can configure what all angles at which you want to rotate your screen. You have the option of hide notch. Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of this implementation of the hide notch, because as soon as you enable it, what it does is it makes the status bar black and the icons as in the black font as well, so I cannot see anything. I think it is a bug. Then you can change your colors. You have 4 different options: natural, boosted, saturated, and adaptive, along with changing the font size, display size. And you have lock screen display, what all content you want to see on the lock screen. If you want to add users from the lock screen, if you want to add your emergency contact information as lock screen message, and if you want to wake your lock screen for new notification and ambient music ticker. Of course, you do have double tap to wake, and we already did a demo of it and it works absolutely fine. In sound, you do have the option of linking and delinking your ring and notification volumes. You have the option of vibrate for calls. You do not have the option of setting different ringtones for different sims, and these are the other options you have, along with Dirac sound enhancer baked into the build. Nothing much to talk about in storage, privacy, and location. In security, you do have screen lock and fingerprint, no face unlock for now. Then we can go into accessibility, and if you scroll down, you have the option of changing your vibration and haptic strength. So here it is, vibration and haptic strength, and you can change your ring vibration how you want it to be. Notification vibration can also be changed, and you can change your touch feedback vibration as well. Next up, you have digital well-being and parental controls, which I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar with. Moving over to system, and we can go into gestures. So you do have your jump to camera gesture, wherein you can open the camera by pressing the power button twice in quick succession. Then you have system navigation. You have 3 different kinds of navigation. We are using the gesture navigation, and you have the option of hiding the ugly bar at the bottom. If you click on the gear icon besides the gesture navigation, you can configure your sensitivity of the app gestures along with the edges of the screen. Then the amount of screen height to be used as a touchable region for the back gesture. If you want to enable the haptic tick effect on back gesture, if you want to enable or disable the ugly arrow for the back gesture, and what is the gesture bar size you are looking for. I just prefer to keep it hidden. Next up, you have prevent ringing. So yes, you can, press power and volume up together to put your phone to either vibrate or into mute. Then you have touchscreen gestures, nothing much over here. Then you also have 3-finger screenshot, and this option works absolutely fine. And of course, you have extended screenshots as well in case you want to take extended screenshots. Going back into system and gestures, you also have adaptive playback. So adaptive playback is something wherein if you have this option enabled, and let's say you are playing some music, as soon as you reduce the volume to minimal or 0, the music is going to pause. And then you have the option of setting a timeout, and if you increase the volume within the specified amount of time which we choose over here, the music playback will continue from where it was paused at. And you also have the option of rules in system, so you can automatically say, turn your Wi-Fi on once you are at a specific location, or turn your Wi-Fi off once you are at a specific location. And as for the benchmark scores, here are the benchmark scores on your screen right now. And as I always say, do not judge a ROM by its benchmark scores. Enjoy the ROM and have fun with it. And there it is, peeps. That was our first look at the features of Shapeshift OS based on Android 10 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. And that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares, and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.